All right, today we're going to try and demystify the rich and, let's be honest, sometimes confusing world of Okinawan karate. Our goal here is pretty simple, to give you a clear map of its many styles so you can really navigate this incredible martial art.
You know, if you've ever felt just a little bit lost trying to figure out all the different karate styles, you hear about Shotokan, Goju-ryu, Shito-ryu, hey, trust me, you are not alone. They can get confusing and fast.
And that's the thing. This incredible diversity is actually one of karate's greatest strengths. But yeah, it can also feel like a huge hurdle when you're just starting out. I mean, you've got different names for similar techniques, totally different philosophies about self-defense versus sport. It's a lot to take in.
So that's what we're here for. Our goal today is to untangle this really complex family tree and bring some much-needed clarity to the whole picture. So think of this little explainer as your guide, okay? We're going to navigate the history, the technical systems of karate's major schools, and hopefully you'll start to see how they all connect. Okay, ready? Let's dive right in. To really get a grip on modern karate, we've got to go back, way back to its source, to the island of Okinawa. That's where it all began. So here's the key thing to remember. Almost every single style of karate you see today, you can trace its lineage right back to one of these three original Okinawan systems: Shuri-te, Naha-te, and Tomari-te. Now, te just means hand. It's that simple. So you can basically think of these three hand styles, each one named after the village it came from, as the great-grandparents of the entire modern karate family. It all starts here. All right, so let's see how this thing builds. From those three Okinawan roots, a bunch of major schools started to pop up as the art spread to mainland Japan. And of course, each one started interpreting the original art in its own unique way. And here are four of the absolute biggest branches on that family tree. You've got Wado-ryu, Shito-ryu, Goju-ryu, and Shotokan-ryu. Every single one of them took those old Okinawan traditions and just developed its own flavor, its own philosophy. So the big question is, how are they really different? And yeah, there are a ton of nuances, but a lot of the key differences, they come down to biomechanics. That's just a fancy word for the specific ways people are taught to use their bodies for maximum efficiency and power. Okay, now this is where it gets really interesting. Just look at this breakdown. Take the stances, for example. Goju-ryu, they often use these higher, more mobile stances, which are perfect for fighting up close. But then you look at Shotokan-ryu, and they're known for these super deep, long stances. Why? Because it creates a stable base to generate some serious long-range power. And then look at the blocking. Shito-ryu and Goju-ryu, they tend to favor these softer, circular blocks to kind of redirect force. Shotokan? Nope. They're all about hard, linear blocks to stop an attack dead in its tracks. See, these aren't just stylistic quirks. They're fundamental principles of movement and combat strategy. And then you've got Uechi-ryu. It's kind of its own thing. It's another super important Okinawan style, but its roots are more directly in Chinese martial arts. So it kind of followed its own evolutionary path, totally separate from those main Shuri, Naha, and Tomari-te family lines. It's a really fascinating study all by itself. Okay, so that's a lot of theory, right? A lot of history. But what does this all actually mean for someone who's just stepping into the dojo, the training hall, for the very first time?
Well, for a lot of beginners, the whole journey starts with something called a kata, which is a foundational form. Think of a kata as a choreographed sequence of moves. It's like a library of all of a style's techniques, holding its very essence. And a really common starting point is a kata called fui-gata, which was designed specifically to teach these fundamentals. And this right here shows you exactly how it works. It's a simple sequence: ready stance, low block, step-in punch, high block, and so on. It seems super basic, doesn't it? But packed inside that simple sequence are the core, practical applications of karate. This is where theory finally meets practice. It's what teaches you balance, power generation, and focus, all in one flowing drill.
So, after exploring all these different branches and techniques, after looking at all the differences in stances and blocks, we kind of arrive at this really powerful unifying idea. And the crucial point is this: even though the methods, the forms, the techniques, they might all be different, the ultimate goal is the same for everyone. It's about the pursuit of truth and self-improvement through martial practice. That part is universal.
So there really isn't one single right way to do it. Every school we've talked about offers a totally valid and complete path to understanding the art.
And respecting that diversity, it is absolutely essential if you want to appreciate the true depth and richness of karate as a whole.
So remember, the journey of discovery always begins with that first step. And now, hopefully you have a bit of a map to help guide you. The only question left is, which path are you going to explore?